right, normally it says record. I'm not, okay, perfect. All right, well, good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited to have everybody here, and I'm just so excited to hear what everybody has to say and to share tonight. So my name is Cindy Santor, for anybody that doesn't know me, and all of us ladies that are on the line, as well as Dr. Odom, who is actually listening in from his car as he's traveling down the road, are all connected by this mission that we're on. And this mission is to, inspire healthy living around the world. And it's literally around the world. And I don't want to take up a lot of our time tonight because we're going to keep you right at a half an hour. So I'm going to jump right in and I'm going to introduce Monica. So Monica Thibodeau is a certified health coach and fitness instructor. And by day, she works in corporate wellness. So Monica, I can't wait to hear what you have to share. And I kind of asked the ladies if they would talk to us about, why did they think Juice Plus, the product, was a good fit for them, and then why they jumped into the business. So Monica, thanks so much.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for that nice introduction. As Cindy has already nicely said, I work full-time in corporate health solutions. In my spare time, I teach fitness classes, and I'm a certified health coach. So I personally started using Juice Plus and became part of the business, I think 2 years ago to the date, honestly. It's around the same time of year. Yeah. So what really got me sold on the products was that at the time the Juice Plus was introduced to me, I was feeling really frustrated about trying to find products and supplements and protein powders that were clean. There wasn't a lot out there. And if there was something that was marketed as clean, it was usually way more expensive than anything else. I wasn't willing to pay an arm and a leg for things that I really didn't know what was going in them for sure. So when I found Juice Plus, I was completely blown away by all the clinical research that they had to support their products. And when you find a company that's willing and sees the value in being transparent about the ingredients in their products, you stick with a company like that. So my mom, Patty, who's on the call, introduced me to the products, and she was on me for a couple weeks to try it out, and I was reluctant at first, and I was even more reluctant to start sharing the product with other people. However, when I started using the products and was consistent with them, I experienced a shift in my own health that really just made it a no-brainer for me to start sharing this with other people that I knew. Working in the health and fitness industry, just the reality of it is people look at you and they expect you to look a certain way. They expect you to act a certain way. Someone once said to me, I feel like you just sit around and crave kale because this is what you do for a living. And that's not always, the truth. That just because I work in this sort of industry, it doesn't mean that health comes easy to me. We all have different things to work at. 2 years ago, before I started with Juice Plus, I was feeling like a little bit of a fraud, for a lack of a better term, because I struggled with bloating, digestional issues. My skin broke out horribly every month. But when I started using Juice Plus, all of that changed extremely fast. And I started noticing other things, like my hair was finally growing and nice and thick and long. And that was really what showed me that something was going on internally and that Juice Plus was helping fix it. So my mom also convinced me to start doing shreds. And what I learned most from Shred 10 was how to be informed about the foods that we eat. And what I mean by that, especially when I'm coaching people, I often use that phrase because making informed food choices means knowing how your body reacts when you aren't eating gluten every single day or when you're not eating sugar, so that you can bookmark those feelings and then make informed choices in the future about whether or not you should eat sugar or gluten or whatever it might be. So that's something that has really given me a lot of powerful information about my own body, and I carry that over into my health coaching. My main focus when I am coaching other people is teaching them how to use habits to maintain a healthy lifestyle. a big part of that is consistency. And Juice Plus has been my consistency. It's been my peace of mind when people are embarking on a healthy lifestyle transformation. They have many other habits to worry about. So why not make internal health a no-brainer with these wonderful products? So I feel 100% confident backing these products and putting my name behind them. And I'm just so grateful for the community it's exposed me to as well.
Wow, Monica, that was great. So even though you felt like you were healthy, once you started taking Juice Plus, you saw a difference.
Absolutely. I always saw myself as a healthy person, but there were all these little health annoyances that I was just like, oh, that should go away soon. Or I don't know why I'm dealing with bloating all the time or whatever what could have been. But I noticed a huge shift when I started incorporating Juice Plus on a daily basis.
Well, great. Well, thank you so very much for sharing. I so appreciate hearing your story. And so next we have Debbie Pryor. And so Debbie and I worked in a prior life together for 17 years. And we didn't get to really see a lot of each other though on that job because, Debbie worked Monday, Tuesdays, I worked Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Debbie, we're excited to hear your story.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thanks, Cindy, for asking me to do this. I tried to cut down my story quite a bit. It seems a little bit lengthy. But after being septic twice in 2015, if you would have told me that today in 2019 that I would be with all of you sharing and about my journey and living a quality of life that I am right now, I probably wouldn't have believed you. So to me, it's nothing short than a miracle, and I give God all the praise for that. I was fighting several autoimmune diseases and chronic fatigue. And so we'll move up to May 2017, when I received a phone call from my cardiologist at U of M stating that I was in heart failure and that my potassium, it was out of range. I had quadrupled my medicine, and if I didn't get that straightened away, then I could go into cardiac arrest. I remember hanging up the phone at that minute and just started crying and turned to Cindy and said, I'm not even going to make it to my son's wedding, which was 2 months away, which was my goal, just to be here for my son's wedding. And so then she proceeded to share with me Juice Plus and the 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries. And I don't know, I was just totally amazed. Like, I had been praying about this and feeling like all the medicine that I was taking was synthetic medicine that was messing up this, that was messing up that, and this was taking care of that, but was hurting this. And before I knew it, my cells, I just felt like my body was crashing, which it was. And so it was a no-brainer to go ahead and take some of those, what we call, Cindy and I call God foods. And so I started taking Juice Plus, and within 2 weeks, was my first change. My fatigue was going away. Within 4 weeks, I was regular. Within 6 weeks, my hair quit falling out. So within 8 weeks, I was at my son's wedding. I get a little emotional every time I think of it, because that was my goal, was just to make it there. And I had the time of my life. But as I finished up the 4 months of the Juice Plus, I had so many friends and family that had prayed for me and walked this journey with me, wanting to know what it is that I did or what was I doing to turn my health around. And I just couldn't keep quiet about Juice Plus. The same cardiologist that had given me that phone call in September, just before I decided to go into business, I had an appointment with him, and I went in and jumped on the table, and because I felt great, and told him, next year maybe I might do a half marathon. I mean, he was just looking at a brand new person. he couldn't believe it. He wanted to know what I was doing. So of course, I told him all about Juice Plus, and asked him why he didn't share like the benefit of whole foods and plant-based foods with me. And, his answer was quite scary, I thought, in that he said it's hard for people to do. And so I just felt like with that little bit, then I was going to be the voice that he wasn't being, and wanted to let people know. I decided to join the business. Anyway, I didn't have to go back to see him. I was kind of done with him. I was off my medicine. He wanted to have one more echo done, and I was fine, and I didn't have to go back to the cardiologist. So I had decided that I wanted my whole family on Juice Plus. So I joined the business, and just so I could get it at wholesale. I didn't think that my kids would see the benefit of it because they didn't have anything wrong with them. But I knew what I didn't want them to go through.
Right.
Anything like I had done. And what I had worried about is, Cindy and I talked often about if we could just unzip ourselves, open it up, and if we could see the damage that was being done to our body in advance, maybe we would pay attention sooner. But things happen, 10 years before sometimes they expose themselves for what they are. So, and then my friends that had watched me also wanted on the product. And so it became a no-brainer to me. It was easy to share. I still didn't know a lot, but couldn't wait to learn. And so I was super thankful to join the business, and, being in that community of, learning and taking care of each other, and, just grabbing arms and moving forward together and sharing what we know was really one of the main reasons. It became my passion and my mission. And so if there was anybody that I could pull along with me, I was going to do it. But since then, in 2 years, since I've taken the product, my cells, continue to repair and continue to, replace, and they continue to come back healthier and healthier. So I'm just super thankful for Juice Plus. I'm thankful for the business, and I'm thankful for the community that I get to be around and what I get to learn, what I get to share. It has, really become a passion for me and something that I feel is like a ministry. So that's kind of my story. Thanks, Cindy, for asking.
We're sticking to it, aren't we? And
Yeah.
I know I've told you this before, and we talk about getting emotional. Anybody who knows me knows where my tears come from. But that day of that wedding, I couldn't stop crying because I kept saying, and I said this to Lydia, who you're going to hear speak to in a little bit. I said, what if I made the decision not to share this with Debbie? Where would we be today? So absolutely. Well, thank you so much, friend. And now one of Debbie's very good friends, Teresa, is going to join us, and she's going to share her story.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Cindy. So as Debbie talked about her story, I had a front row seat to that. And so she was reason enough for me to question, okay, what are you doing and what is this all about? So that was really the first thing that got me interested in Juice Plus. But I'm going to talk about the other two reasons also. The first one was prevention. I'm in good health. I'm not taking any prescription meds currently, but I knew that I needed additional help to make sure that I could get the right number of servings of fruits and vegetables every day. I knew there was no way that I could eat what I needed to eat to be healthy. In addition, I'm dealing with aging parents, going to doctor's appointments, and I'm seeing all the medications that they're on. And so I was really approaching this from a prevention standpoint. I want to prevent disease, and if I can do that through food, that's really the best bet. So that's where I was looking at the benefit of Juice Plus. The second reason is I looked at the program that they offer called the Healthy Starts for Families. And that program is what Juice Plus offers to children of a paying trio order of a parent, for example. And they can get the product for free, the fruits and vegetable blend, for free up to 4 years, up to age 26, as long as they're in college. And the reason that that intrigued me is one of our sons was in college at the time, and he has Crohn's disease. He was diagnosed when he was 12 years old. So he, at that time, had it about 8 years when he started taking it, 8.5 years. And one of the big struggles with Crohn's disease is, you know, the good food, the healthy food that we're taught to eat doesn't, is difficult for patients with, or people with bowel disease, in that it's hard to digest. It's harder on their system. So when we were talking to doctors, they were talking, the physician said, you know, try a low residue, low fiber diet, which means cook the vegetables, cook the fruits. And I knew that that meant that the nutrients weren't necessarily going to be there. The doctor said, well, you've got to get calories in him. He's always been very thin, and having that disease having Crohn's disease doesn't help, and he wasn't absorbing the foods that he was taking in. And the doctor said to me, if he wants a shake every day, go to McDonald's and get him a shake every day. And so those were just some of the things that we had experienced over the last, you know, those 8 years that were really frustrating, because I knew he needed good food and good nutrition. So when I heard about Juice Plus, heard about the Healthy Starts for Families, it just made sense. Also, the fact that the trio blend is bioavailable, which means that it's been pre-digested, so that when you take the trio, the capsules, they're automatically gonna be absorbed into your system. And so his body isn't going to have to digest that, and it's not gonna cause a problem for him. So fast forward, Garrett has been on the product about 1.5 years. He got through college, graduated. He basically, that whole 1.5 years, this past 1.5 years, he has been free from any sickness. He may have had a sore throat for a day, but nothing really came of that. Never had to go on an antibiotic. He's remained in remission from Crohn's. And also he's gained weight, which for him has been an answer to prayer, because like I said, being malnourished, not being able to absorb all the nutrients has been a real problem for him. So that's why we got involved. I got involved in the business because it just made sense. The more people we told, they were interested, and it just made good sense for us and for me. So I'm enjoying learning along with all of you, and excited to share with whomever has any questions about their health and how they can improve.
Well, great. Well, thank you, Lisa, so much. And thank you for sharing about Garrett. You know, so many times as parents, we tend to, you know, do things for our children, or maybe in Lydia's case, who's going to talk next, our grandchildren. But we don't necessarily think it's for ourselves. But then once we get into it, we find that we're all benefactors of this amazing nutrition. And the bioavailability is exactly what you said. You know, it's already ground up, so it's kind of like that's going through our stomach already, and that pre-digestion. So then hours after it's in our bodies, it's already being used. You know, the places that it needs to go in our bodies, it goes to those right places. So thank you so much, Teresa, for sharing. So next we have Lydia Kapika, and Lydia is a nutritionist. And Lydia is going to share with us how, when she was working at a local cancer center in Michigan, what she was teaching kind of helped her reach the decisions that she was making. Lydia?
Hi, everybody. Thanks, everybody. That's been great so far. And thank you for having me. So as a nutritionist, I thought I was pretty healthy. I thought I was eating pretty healthy, probably better than 80% of the population. but I had an autoimmune disease, and I was actually looking for a good quality protein powder that I could trust, because everything on the retail shelves scared me. You know, things have heavy metals, they come from China. You never know what you're getting. There's no regulation in the industry. So somebody invited me to a smoothie party, a total stranger, and I decided to check it out. So when they introduced me to the capsules, the plant powders, it really made immediate sense to me, because it was antioxidants and phytonutrients, and that was everything we were teaching at the cooking class at the hospital. And the class was for cancer prevention and reversal. So, and like Teresa, somebody started telling me about the Healthy Family Starts, Healthy Starts for Families, and my granddaughter was chronically constipated. She was about 4 years old at the time. I thought maybe it had something to do with diet. Maybe this would help. So in order for her to get the product for free, I thought I would sign up and I would take it too. So within a week, she was regular. But in the meantime, I mentioned I had an autoimmune condition. I was having chronic fatigue, crashing on the couch 3 hours a day, couldn't even hold up my head, didn't even have the strength for that. And I started noticing a difference in my energy to get through the day, and I wasn't having the fatigue and crashing. So that's really when I started researching, why would this be making a difference for me? And through the years now, the more I learn, it's all about our diets and what we're feeding our bodies, and basically about eating more plants. So because of that, I just decided became my mission to try and help other people, try to suggest to them how to help them with all their chronic conditions, all the chronic conditions we have going on today. And it kind of intrigued me that I could actually earn an income by making an impact with other people's health. So that's what keeps me going today. But my husband's retired, and I'll tell you what, our healthcare costs skyrocket year after year. They're doubling. They just keep going up. And so now, just through helping others, I'm using that income to bridge the gap in our income, because, we still have things we want to do, but with this business, we get to, number one, help take care of our granddaughter, spend more time with her. We're very flexible with that. We're able to travel more, because basically I can do my business from my phone. So no matter where we are, I can work if I choose to. But it's the people's stories, like my own customers and people that I've met, that come back to me with their stories and how it's changed their health, that really just keeps me involved in this business. I mean, how could I not continue to do that? Because people really they need hope for their health. I mean, and they don't know where to start, and we kind of have an easy solution for them. So, but thanks for having me, and please let us know if you have any questions. Thanks.
Well, and I think you're so right. And I just have, this paper that I read all through this paper today. And like you and Debbie have both mentioned, not one place in that paper that's probably 20 pages did it ever talk about what we could do for our diet to change our health. And so that's why I think, you're going to hear all these stories are very different, but yet they're very similar, because we're all so passionate about letting other people know that there's hope. And that's such a good word, Lydia, that people can have hope. We don't have to accept what diseases are going on in our country right now. So thank you so much for sharing. And Crystal, you're going to close us out. And Crystal is a dental surgeon, and she has a great story to share with us as well. So are you there, Crystal? I can't see you. Let me there. You're unmuted.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah, we're all good.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Crystal. I'm a general dentist. I work in the Temperance, Michigan area, which is right by Toledo. And I actually started taking Juice Plus a little over a year ago. My mom has heard about the product from when she was seeing her doctor many years ago. And she thought just because, the doctor was offering it, that it was like hocus pocus, like, what's the benefit? Is it really something that is gonna help your body? So, but then last year we were at Costco, and my mom and we ran into our good friend, Patty Thibodeau, who's listening, and she just started telling us about Juice Plus. And my mom's like, oh my gosh, I remember hearing about that like 20 years ago. And she was like, if it's been around that long, it must be a great product. So we decided to try it out. And so we started taking it. And couple months in, she told us to give it a couple weeks, and we gave it a couple weeks, couple months, and we started noticing changes. I don't need to lose weight, but I lost 10 pounds. My mom lost 10 pounds. I noticed like inflammation, like after working out, it was decreasing. My mom noticed the same thing. And so I thought, why not become a distributor? And the biggest impact that it had on was my dad, though. About a year ago, he went to the doctors, and we all consider ourselves healthy. We eat, healthy foods. And he went and he noticed from his blood work that his PSA had risen. And a normal PSA for a man around my dad's age is he's in his 60s, so it should be 4 or less. And it was in the 50s. So that was really concerning. So he started, getting blood work more often, going for biopsies, and he just stayed on the Juice Plus. And about 3 to 6 months in, he had to go for another blood test, and they noticed it dropping. And the doctor's like, what are you doing? Like, normally we don't see this like dropping like this. And he said, I'm taking this product. It's called Juice Plus. And the doctor wasn't completely familiar with it. I think he'd heard of it, but he wasn't going to admit like, oh, I don't know what that is. So I'm sure he looked it up, but he just said, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. So my dad just kept taking the Juice Plus. And at the first of the year, we decided to take on the Omegas too. And he went in January. He always goes out to Arizona for corporate, and he had to go through a full test because they have them every year do a full test. And even the doctor, because they had the reports, they noticed again it had kept dropping. And now if we fast forward to, he literally just had blood tests done about a month ago, and his PSA is at a 5. And so it is almost within normal limits, and the doctors are completely stunned. And we feel it is due to Juice Plus, and the doctors feel the same way. And so they told him to just keep taking it, and they put him on where now he doesn't have to go in like every 3 months. It's more of like 6 months just to still monitor, since he is slightly above. But we're so happy, and he is like thrilled. And so yeah, we're giving it all to Juice Plus. And even taking the Omegas, we've noticed that like our hair is growing a lot faster, it's softer, it's smoother. Our skin feels like acne wise, my brother used to have a lot of acne on his back, and he doesn't have that anymore. So it's just amazing what the product has done for us. But yeah, that's my story. Mainly my dad is what we've noticed big changes for him.
Well, and Crystal, I've heard it before. I've never heard the numbers before, and that just astonishes me. So congratulations. And you're a classic example of my story with Debbie. What if you and your mom hadn't seen Patty in Costco that day?
Right.
And your dad might have a different story right now too. So what a great job. And thank you so much for sharing. And what I love about, hearing Crystal and Monica's story is, these are young girls in their 20s, and we can't start taking Juice Plus soon enough. You know, all 3 of my grandchildren take it, and we just can't get all this nutrition in our bodies too soon. So I just so appreciate all of you and sharing your stories. And, you know, it's Dr. Candace Corson, and I had to print this out because I wanted to make sure I said it correctly. And she said, please remember, we do not take Juice Plus for our illness. We take it to grow our wellness. And that can make a world of difference. And I think that is so true, especially with what all of you have said with, you know, the Healthy Family Starts, because Crystal, your brother, you know, was in college, so he got to take advantage of that. And
Yes.
Lydia, your granddaughter, Teresa, your son, Patty, your son got to, you know, and is still taking advantage of that. So we can't get this nutrition in our young people fast enough. So I'd like to encourage everybody that's on the call to just stay connected to us. So maybe, and y'all notice I can't talk without my hands. So maybe that means that you just say to the person that you invited to the call, say, you know, hey, what's new in the health world? What are you learning about right now? Or maybe we have a website that has free resources. One of it is this holiday cookbook. And so it's healthy recipes for the holidays. So maybe you just want to know where to get those healthy recipes. Maybe you're so excited about what you've heard, you know of somebody that wants to start putting these 30 fruits and vegetables and the omegas, because that is my favorite product, into their bodies. And we really didn't even, Monica talked about the shakes, but that's our plant-based shake, which I kind of call veggie crack because it tastes so good. And then maybe you think, oh my gosh, I know my friend Jack, or I know my friend Susan. They would love to do this mission too. So it's somebody that wants to lock arms with all of us and be a part of what we do in spreading healthy living around the world. And it really is a world company. We're in over 26 countries. So we can actually spread this news, spread the message of hope throughout the world. So, pardon me. Thank you again, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording.